Hi, dear fans. My name is Thiago. I am ready to answer all your questions. So, ready to go.
All right, Thiago, thanks for joining us. I'll start with my own question first. We're in Qatar at the Aspire Academy. Tell us about the first couple of days here. Tell us about your winter break. It's something that you've experienced not many times in your life. So tell us about the last couple of weeks and the mid-season preparation at Bayern.
Yeah. Hello. Good afternoon. I think first of all, we spent I think a few wonderful days here and with nice weather, with amazing fields here, and so we everything together made us feel comfortable here and train as best as we can. And second, I think the winter pause is always a bit of breathe for us to get some new air, new power for the restart of the season.
So we started 2 days ago. We started asking the fans to send in questions. There have literally been thousands of questions. You're obviously very popular with the Bayern fans, so we'll just go through a couple of these questions. Maybe we'll start with one. Of course, a lot of people talk about your technique. You're a midfield player with very, in England you'd say fancy footwork. And Malay Aurora, for instance, wants to know how you dance so beautifully with your feet. Do you have any tips for how you can learn how to dance and move so elegantly on the pitch?
I think all each playing around the world, we have each of us. We have our own style, and I think it's just I feel happy when I play football. I'm pretty secure of my game, so it's just I make this mix and with all the things that I have learned during these years, and I put in practice this knowledge.
So, but when you're on training, for instance, like after the training, are you someone who likes to try and score goals, or do you try to juggle the ball? Was that always something that you try to do to improve your skills?
No, I think we try to improve our skills during the training. After the training, we just have fun. We just do what we have inside, what we want to do in this moment. And sometimes I make some passes with Douglas and Rafa. Sometimes some skills. Sometimes I shoot on the goal. So depends.
Nicholas wants to know, this is along the same lines. Costa, Ribéry, or you? Who is the best trickster on the Bayern team? Who has the best tricks?
I think it does depend about the tricks. I think it depends about our technique, how we use it on the pitch. I think that's the most important thing. But yeah, we are very technical players, and we can do a lot of things and different things. I think Douglas make better some things, Ribéry on other things, and I do another better thing. So I think it's a beautiful mix.
So what do you think makes you most useful for the football team that you play for? What is it that you bring to a team, or that you would want to bring to a team?
I think first of all the work and the intensity. I think for me that's the first point, that we are in a team. We have to play as a team. So for me that's the most important thing.
A user called Back3 wants to know if you have any special rituals when you walk out onto the pitch or when you prepare for a game.
No. I think I have the normal, typical, let's say the normal way to dress up. We always, I think, all the football players start with the right side, and that's. I think it's not because of the luck, but just because the life we are doing the things. And first of all comes the socks, and in the right side, and then the shoes. So I think it's a normal thing, and that's one thing that I cannot touch the line when I go inside. Just that.
So many users ask the same question. This is going back to when you joined Bayern Munich. What made you join Bayern Munich in the first place? What was appealing about the club?
Well, we are talking about one of the best teams in the world, and one of the best teams in the history of football. So that's the main point of being here. So. And then the second point was a big trainer that came in that moment. That was Pep, and I enjoyed all these moments here.
How would you? I mean, some users ask, describe Bayern Munich in 3 words. I know that's always a little difficult to do, but how would you describe Bayern Munich in just a few words, in a nutshell? What you found here?
I have just one word to describe it. It is family. I think it's I think the only team in the world that has this feeling when you get inside, that it's a family club.
So don't think I'm being impolite when I look at my phone. I'm just looking
Don't
at some
worry.
more questions coming
Don't
in.
worry.
Marlene wants to know where you want to spend your holiday, your next holiday, some place that you haven't been to, that you've always wanted to go to.
No, I'm a guy that I always always want to repeat the countries that I have, my family, my friends, but for sure I love to enjoy some different world for let us say like that, and I think we enjoy it when we go cities around Munich, we're around cities in Spain, and we're around in countries around the world. Yeah.
You obviously travel a lot through the world with your teammates. Do you have a best friend or a group of players that you hang out with most?
Yeah, for sure. When you come to a team, you always have better connections with the players as your same coach. Or like you are from Spain, you always have better connection with the Spanish people. But there's a lot of great guys there, like Philip, Thomas, Manu, Mario, David, Frank. There are a lot of great people here.
You mentioned Spanish, but you obviously speak English very well. How's your German, first of all, and how many languages do you speak?
My German is better. It's quite better, but for sure it's not my best language right now, because I have learned for a couple of months, and now with the winter break I didn't have some lessons. I didn't practice a lot, so you usually lost a little bit, but for sure when we come back to Munich I will restart with that and to improve it and get it better.
Dean wants to know what, so far in your career, your greatest moment in football was.
Well, we always think that the great moments it's coming. It's not it was not in the past, but it's coming. But for sure, I had the biggest moment with the national team and with Barcelona and with FC Barcelona and with FC Bayern.
Now, you were injured for a very long time, and for most users, of course, for every user, basically, they don't know how it feels to play on the big stage. They don't know how it feels to play in front of 70,000, 100,000 people. Can you describe, or try to describe to us, how it feels to return after such a long injury break? You come onto the pitch and everyone's chanting your name. What does that do emotionally?
Well, you are like coming back from you're coming back to play the game that you love, the game that you are working for, and was a pleasure. I born with a ball, and I will die with a ball. So for me, that's the most important thing, to play football, to keep it playing. When my career finish, I will continue playing. So the football is my life, and I have made everything to play again, and I will make everything to play football in the future.
You obviously love the game, so I assume you're a bit of an expert. Who is the greatest football player of all time?
For me, no doubt, Lionel Messi. We have the pleasure to enjoy him now in the present. So for me, in the past and the future, he will be the best ever.
Messi's a good a word to tomorrow is the Ballon d'Or. I don't know who's going to win, but is that a goal of yours, a personal goal? Do you strive to become the best player in the world, or is that nominated?
I think it's the goal for all the players who are in big teams. But for sure, we are more like far away from that, because normal time is the people who scores goal, who won that ball. But I think it's an individual trophy. It's an important trophy, but for me, the most important thing is the commune and the group trophy. So for me, it's more important the Bundesliga, the Champions, and the Pokal than the Ballon d'Or in this moment.
Well, it's a perfect question. If Phil wants to know, do you prefer scoring goals or preparing them?
Preparing them, because I always prepare the goals, so I prefer to prepare them.
Which player from Bayern does the most banter? Which player is the most chatty all the time and tries to maybe provoke you a little bit on the pitch?
From
Bayern Munich in
Bayern.
training, for instance, who's the one that you...
But which type of provocation?
Yeah,
What
well,
are you
just
talking
making
about?
fun of people or trying to score goals against you. And
Okay, I think it's not about cheating or something like that, but the funnier one who is always talking is Thomas Müller, Rafinha, and Frank Ribery. I think there are three funnier guys here. Funniest guys here.
I have a few German questions for you. First of all, how do you like Bavarian food?
Well, we have the opportunity to try it once in the biggest moment, that is the Oktoberfest, and it's quite good. It's a little bit heavy for us because we are from the Mediterranean food, a healthy food, and suddenly you top with just meat and cheese and a lot of stuff, but they are very good things. They always say that the bad things are the best things. So
it's true. How do you like the Oktoberfest? Did you have were you surprised when you went there? I mean, it's a very crazy place to go to. Were you
Yeah,
surprised or
for
shocked?
sure. The first time you get surprised because you saw a lot of I saw a lot of tents and you don't understand how big they are because outside you say it will not be completely full, and when you go inside it seems like I don't know, it seems like a stadium. It's completely full.
What's the hardest German word you've had to use so far, learn so far?
The typical is Flüssigkeit, Haushalten, I don't know the rest.
Is it the amount of liquid in your
Yeah,
body, the rest?
exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Flüssigkeitshaushalt.
Yeah, Flüssigkeit, Haushalten.
Sehr good. Very good. So
That's
do
the
you,
most difficult word, yeah.
do you try to communicate in German a lot on the pitch with Philipp Lahm, with Thomas Müller, for instance, or do you switch to English? How do you communicate? With
Most of the words are English, but I have to confess that now in during the holidays I was trying to speak English. I was speaking English, but I committed a lot of mistakes because I was mixing with German. Because when I want to say thank you in English, I always say danke. So I made a lot of changes in some words that I use normally I use here, and I use it during my holidays as well.
I've noticed pokal is a word that you used earlier on. That's every foreign player says pokal all the time.
Yeah, because it's easier than cup. It's easier than cup.
Exactly. When you celebrate your goals,
Yeah.
is that spontaneous, or do you ever think about something that you might use? Do you practice any spontaneous celebrations?
Well, it's completely spontaneous because when it comes in a few times. I think it's a great moment for me, and I wanna enjoy the moment, and it's completely spontaneous.
What do you do in your spare time in Munich and maybe here as well? Do you have any special hobbies or other sports that you like to play?
Well, first of all, I love to hang out with people, with friends, with family, with my wife. When we are in the city, we love to hang out with friends. But for me, my best job is making sports. Making sports always I love to do. It can be ping pong at home, or it can be basketball outside in a court side. So we can do a lot of sport out from the football with a low level because we have to be fit for playing with the team. But same time I have another one like going to the cinema, playing cards. So I have a lot of hobbies.
I'll use Fabian here, but a lot of people wanted to know things like what is the difference between Barcelona and Munich? What do you like about both cities? What's maybe special in Barcelona that you don't have in Munich? What did you discover in Munich?
The biggest difference they are in different countries. There's the first and the big difference, but they are completely different teams and
Not the cities.
The cities, okay, and the cities are completely different. One, we have more in Barcelona. We have things like the beach. It's a different city, and it's a city that I grew up. So for me, it's a special city. But at the same time, Munich, it's quite beautiful, nice people there, and we have a very very beautiful city center. So it's very well to be there and to enjoy the city as well.
Now, you've obviously integrated very well at Bayern Munich, but initially when you came here, how did it feel being away from your family for so far away? How did you feel in the first few weeks?
Well, I have been away from my family many times, many years, so it was not new for me. But it was difficult to get farther than before, because before was just some kilometers in the same country, and now it's country to country. But I'm a guy who travel a lot when I was young, because my dad was a football player and I had to travel with him. But now I used to do it, and it's completely normal for me.
So if you don't mind, we'll just do a couple more questions. First of all, the number 6, is there any special significance for you apart from the fact that you like to play in midfield?
No, it's because it's special because my dad played with it, and it was a special number for him, and if it's for him, it's special for me as well.
I mean, your parents must have had a great influence. Your brother, your cousin play football. You're a very good at sporting family. How big was and how important was your family?
Yeah. My dad, as I told, my dad was a football player. My mom was a volleyball player, and I think this mixed sport made like good athletes at home. And my brother is an amazing player as well. And I had a sister who plays basketball, and a small brother that he's starting with football and looks good. Looks very good.
One user wants to know if you've seen the new Star Wars movie yet. You mentioned that you like to go to the cinema. Did you like the new Star Wars movie?
Not at all, not at all, because I didn't follow the first movies, and I prefer more the let's say the not the how is in the fictions in how
Science
is it?
fiction.
Yeah, science fiction. I prefer like the normal one, like but
Realistic.
but I understand the fanatics with Star Wars because I have friends and they are completely crazy with the movie and with the series. Yeah.
Going back to football, what tips would you give a young player or a kid who wants to become a professional football player? What do you have to do?
No, I always say that there are two things that are very important. That first of all, you have to enjoy playing this game because at the end is a game, and second you have to. It doesn't exist in this moment 100%. You must give the 110%, the 120, because it's not enough to be in a professional team.
Okay, then the final question, maybe we have some die-hard Thiago fans who asked me to talk you into staying at Bayern forever. So can you imagine staying at Bayern Munich until the end of your career? And maybe another question, how far do you plan ahead? Do you think season for season? Do you think, okay, I'm going to do this contract now? What do you envision for your future?
No, I think the vision is we don't have to think about to extend or make it shorter a contract because we are not thinking about football. We have to think game by game. That's the most important thing. Day by day, when you train, you have to wake up. You have to think about that you are in a great team. That you are enjoying training. That you can train. That's what I learned. You can train in that moment. So for me, it's important to see game by game, to see year by year. But as I told you before, I'm completely happy here, and I don't care to spend more years for sure.
Maybe one last question. What is your biggest dream in football? World Championship, Champions League?
I think is to be world champion with my national team. That's the most amazing, I think, challenge because that's a dream for the kids when we were kids, and I saw at home the medal. I saw what it is to be a world champion. So it's something amazing.
Good luck with that. Thank you so much for joining us, Thiago, and good luck in the
much.
next couple of weeks and this season.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.